Deanna said, if you don't learn from the past, you're bound to repeat it. And so the human race has never. I mean, if you look at the history of the human family for at least the past 7,000 years, Proto-Sumerians, even before Sumeria, there were people. And the history of the human race is that people never learn lessons. They never learn. I mean, my mother used to tell me that when I was a kid. Yeah, you'll never learn, and then when you finally do learn and you finally wake up and don't do the stupid things you were doing on your bike so that you can, have a terrible accident and break your arm, you'll never learn. And but then when you finally do learn, well, at least now you know what not to do. But the kids coming up behind me, nope, they're going to do the same thing I did. And the kids coming after them will do the same thing they did, because nobody seems to have figured out the easiest way to learn a lesson is to look at other people's mistakes. I mean, we're all human, so other people make mistakes. Well, what did they do that was a big mistake in their life? Well, then you don't do it. Don't do what they did, because it was a mistake. But we don't do that. We don't learn from our mistakes. We just keep making them, which is a tribute to the human intelligence. We just keep on doing the same old thing. And somebody said that insanity was doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result each time. So if you keep doing the same thing and the same result happens, and then at 80 years old you're still doing the same thing and the same thing happens, you would wonder, what is it about the human that we don't learn from our mistakes, and we don't learn from other people's mistakes? And there's another thought about there are none so blind as those who choose not to see. Well, God, that's true. There are none so blind as those who choose not to see. Well, that was the Germans during Adolf Hitler's time. They chose not to hear. They don't want to know. All they know is that they're living good. Don't bother to look into what you've heard about all these things like concentration camps in Poland, all that. No, don't even bother to look at that. It would be better to choose to just look the other way, go to the parties, have the beer, and enjoy yourself, and you've got a good job, and just shut up and go with the flow. Everything will be fine for you.
You know what's interesting, Jordan, is that now you talk like this, and I agree. It's almost like it's happening now, but in the opposite, almost like they're doing it to our face and they're putting it on the news.
Said, why don't we just fucking detach from this shit? I'm not playing in this game anymore. Butter's just sitting there meditating, and he's like, wait a second, this is all fucking stupid. Like, I'm not playing in this game anymore. You haven't realized that yet. You haven't become rational and objective. You haven't segregated yourself from the terrible suffering of the world. And for this reason, you cannot see the meat grinder for what it is, so you're seduced into participating in it. You meet